November has been my best reading month of 2025, period. Usually, when I read like 16 books in 30 days, the quality drops off a cliff. But this month, November must be a statistical anomaly. Almost every book I've read this month is a recommendation. Yeah, so keep watching till the end because almost every book is a recommendation, and I have some special surprises right at the end. Let's look at the numbers because they're honestly kind of frightening. So I read 16 books in total, that's around 5,200 pages. To put that in perspective, if you stack them together, that's kind of like a size of an average bug. Scary? Yes. And my mood this month, 80% was I'm having the best time of my life, while 20% was like, why is this book doing this to me? My first book was The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. This book is like the literally equivalent of eating popcorn for dinner. Is it nutritious at all? No. But will you finish the whole bag? Yes, absolutely. The plot in 10 seconds, like Millie is an ex-con who desperately needs a job and she hires for this housemaid interview and she gets hired by this wealthy family. But the wife is a total nightmare and the husband is tragically handsome. And also, her room, which is right up in the attic, it locks only from outside. Red flags everywhere. Does she stay? Yeah, obviously.
So why do you want this job?
I just really enjoy being a housemaid. For the right families, of course.
You know this is a live-in position, right?
I'll be honest, was this plot original? No, it screamed verity. And did I guess the twist? Almost immediately. But did I care? No, not at all. I was in for the fun ride. I kind of inhaled this book at one go. And I would have to say the ending was a bit rushed, like the author had a train to catch, but still the vibes were totally bingeable. 4 stars, messy, dramatic, and dangerously bingeable. The award it gets is the Brain Off Vibes On Palette Cleanser Award. Next up is Spy Family Volume 14 by Tatsuo Endo. To quote the man of the hour, Mr. Henderson, this volume was truly elegant. We take a break from the usual spy chaos and dive into the backstory of Henry Henderson, aka our headmaster. It explores his past, a tragic romance amidst war, and how ultimately this character becomes the elegance icon we know as of today. I cannot believe the amount of character depth they have put to a character who I normally laugh at. And most importantly, this part has a gala and a dance, and let's just say it was done elegantly. But let's be real, we are here for Anya. She is so grown up and pretty and beautiful in this book, and her dance with Scion Boy, oh, absolute hearts. I was kicking my feet and laughing throughout. Anya and Scion Boy forever. This whole series, this whole Spy Family series is a serotonin boost. If you haven't read any of the parts, I highly suggest you to read this series because you're going to love it. It's wholesome, it's funny, and this volume specifically, très élégant. Très élégant. Très élégant. Très élégant. Five stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. My heart is full. The award it gets is the Most Elegant Dance Award. Next up is The Husband's Secret by Liane Moriarty. This is the kind of book where you will look across your partner in a dinner table and just question yourself, who are you really? Do I really know you? Cecilia, our main character, she finds a letter from her husband which has it labeled to be opened only in the event of my death. But the problem is he is very much alive, and this letter contains the deepest, darkest secret of his life. And after opening this letter, 2 other women come into the picture, and all the 3 of their lives intertwine, their fates intertwine in a manner you would have never imagined. I spent the whole book like kind of tense, kind of worrying that how can you possibly pull off an ending which will be happy and satisfying. And to my utter pleasure, it really did. It's not a lot of a thriller perspective, but it's more of a morality, like where you question how far would you go to protect your own family, and do you really know the person you marry? The internal conflicts in this book were so real that at points I also felt like, if I were in that situation, I would have probably acted the same way. I also love the ending. Nature took its course, justice was served, And it ended in a way that was bittersweet rather than perfect. I'm telling you, this book might give you major trust issues. 4 stars, gripping and uncomfortably real. You can try this in audiobook. The award it gets is the Marriage is Scary Award. Next up is Masquerade by O.O. Sangoyami. Oh my god, the cover of this book is absolutely beautiful. It's a historical retelling of Persephone and Hades, but set in reimagined 15th century West Africa. It follows a blacksmith's daughter who basically gets swept into a world of royal intrigue and politics and secrets. Like, the premise, I would say, absolutely brilliant, but the execution really fell short. And I felt one of the main reasons was this main character and whose motivations I really did not understand. I did not understand what she was doing, why she was doing it. It also felt like the author was trying to write this complex political drama, but like it kind of pulled off at the last second. So it just ended up feeling kind of like a YA which tried too hard to sound very intellectual and political. So it wasn't bad, it was just average. So 3 stars from me. Beautiful cover but confusing main character. The award it gets is the Missed Potential Award. Next up is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Now, this book will do 2 things: make you swoon and make you violently jealous of people who are on holidays. 2 best friends, Alex and Poppy, they take a summer trip every year until like 2 years ago. They kind of ruin everything. Now Alex is kind of the whole, but Poppy convinces Alex to come with her for a last vacation where she wants to fix this friendship. It's classic friends to romance, but it's absolutely perfect. This book was so damn good. Like, Emily Henry, she just hits the banter right on point. There were like so many inside jokes, like this speaks to me. There were like wars on thermostat. Like, all these feel so real and lived in. Like, literally, like at so many points of this book, I had butterflies in my stomach. I connected with this book a lot because it kind of mimics my marriage. Like, there's this long friendship period, this chase before, you finally confess to each other and you finally acknowledge the feelings for each other. Like, the love between these 2 characters felt so real. Oh, I was overwhelmed. And also now I'm incredibly excited for the movie adaptation coming early next year, and also on my upcoming trip to Thailand.
How about every summer, wherever we are, we meet somewhere in the world for a trip?
Deal.
5 stars, butterflies, banter, and baggage. The award it gets is the Butterflies in My Stomach Award. Next up is Martyr by Kaveh Akbar. This book is exactly what you would expect when a poet writes a novel. The prose is absolutely stunning, but the plot itself, let's just say it's kind of a vibe. The plot follows Cyrus, a recovering addict and a poet, who is like very obsessed with the idea of martyrdom, like dying for a cause. And finally, it's a story about art, family history, and death itself. The writing in this book is top class. Like, it merges poetry into prose in a way that feels somber, quiet, and mad all at once. I would say the mood this book brings forward is very hard to find in any other books. However, the plot to me felt a bit haphazard because some of the chapters I was just questioning, like, what was the point of that chapter as a whole. And then there was this one specific character. I'm going to be a bit cryptic over here, just not to give away any spoilers, but there was this one character who kind of walked away scot-free from everything. And I was just like not very happy with it. Like, they were the cause of all the problems according to me. If you've read the book, you would know what I'm talking about. But the way the book handled them and almost celebrated them, it just made me a bit conflicted about the whole book. And also, don't ask me what happened in the ending because I'm really not sure what the ending meant. 4 stars, absolutely stunning prose but questionable morals. The award it gets is the Poetry in Motion, but I have questions award. Next up is The Temple of Fortuna by L.D. Harper. This is the last book of the Wolf Den trilogy, and saying goodbye to these characters felt like kind of a heartbreaker. If you haven't read the series starts off with Amara, who is a slave in a brothel in Pompeii. And she fights very hard, extremely hard for her freedom. And finally in this series, she's a freed woman in Rome. But she believes that all the power comes with a price and her past is never too far behind. What I loved about this series is how it dwells on the normal, like the daily, day-to-day life, Like the day-to-day survival in this ancient era, like that is made so entertaining. It's not about like some big historical events. It's just normal lives of these women which you see over here, and they're very fun to read. A lot of the characters meet their prime characters, meet their end here, and I was glued. If I had to nitpick, I wish it would have given some more arc to few of the side characters who I was really invested in the previous parts. If I had to compare it to the series, it kind of felt like Pantheon. By the way, if you haven't watched Pantheon, I highly recommend you to watch the series. But it had the same issue which this book had. Like, it was really beautifully written, a very good ending, a compelling ending, but it just felt a bit rushed at the end to get there. Overall, it's a very different kind of retelling, I would have to say, where I have loved the characters. It's extremely character driven. And if you want to hear my thoughts about the previous parts, check out my September wrap-up video. 4 stars, fitting, emotional, and real. The award it gets is rushed but beautiful award. Next up is Alchemised by Sendeyu. Now listen, this book has a lore. It was first published as a fanfic, a Hermione fanfic, which is this. I don't read a lot of fanfic, but apparently there's a lot of fanfiction on the Harry Potter universe, which are based on Hermione and Draco. So yeah, got a lot of traction at that time, and since you cannot publish a fanfic as is, this book got pulled off, polished, put into a new world, basically republished as Alchemised, and the sales were astronomical, the hype was unbelievable, and I am so pissed off. I could have, listen, it's 1,000 pages. I could have read 4 other books at this time and got 4 different stories. Instead, what I got was the story of healing each other and growing apart on an infinite loop. Part 1 was so unnecessarily confusing. Part 2 of this book was a struggle. It was so long. It's probably the longest part I have read in any book, which had no character motivations, not a lot of addition to the plot. Just plain frustrating. And part 3, the ending was okay, but it was not out of the world for a 1,000-page book. If you want to hear my full rant, check out my review on Alchemized. As a fanfic, I feel like this might have lived up to the hype, but as a standalone book, it's just like, why did I do this to myself? 2 stars for the emotional damage it has caused me, and not in the good way. The word it gets is, should have stayed on AO3 award. Next up is The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Madden. This book is the definition of trying too hard. It has like a Ponzi scheme, a woman missing from a ship, a cryptic message left in a hotel. But then it just jumps between these dozen perspectives and timelines in such a manner that it just leaves you utterly confused. I felt like this book was like trying to attempt to do something great, like have all these complex arcs pulled together, mixed up together, but it just ended up being a mess. And I feel the main reason for this is because the basic story, the underlying story, was so simple at its heart. Like, I'm telling you, if you just read the book blurb at the end, it's going to tell you all you need to know about the book. It goes like extra deep into each character, but it's just like, it just feels like, I'm trying too hard to mean something. Yeah, you get my point. And honestly, like, I was so frustrated, like by 50% of it, I thought I'm just going to DNF this book. But I thought, oh yeah, might as well, something might happen at the end, which basically explains it. But 2 stars, pretty prose, empty plot. The word it gets is pretentious for no reason. Next up is The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim. This book is a fever dream about racism, misogyny, and eyeballs. The plot is basically after our main character's father leaves, her mother becomes obsessed with the idea that only a white man can save their family, and she kind of unravels in the worst way possible. And the frustration in this book builds and builds until the main character snaps. And her mother has this like weird belief that if you eat fish eyes, it's very good for you, you're going to be very lucky or something. And she takes her advice a little bit too literally. This isn't just a good for her revenge story. This is like a genuine look at what grief might feel like. Horror elements in this book are just not for like the shock value of it. It is based on this trauma of being an Asian woman in a world that kind of has this weird fetish about you. It's fast paced, it's smart, and it's feminist without screaming at you. Fun fact though, when I was small, in fact, my family also kind of believed that fish eyes were really good for eyesight. Yes, I still wear glasses or contacts, so I don't really know about that. But, anyways, so for me, some of the scenes were not that disgusting because I'm kind of used to them. But if you're squeamish, good luck reading this. 4 stars, weird, meaningful, and crunchy. The award it gets is the eye-opening horror award. Next up is You Have Found Oliver by Dustin Thau. Now, if you want to read a book that just feels like a warm hug, like this is the book. So if you haven't read the first part, which is You Have Reached Sam, I haven't read it as well. But basically, Sam has passed away, and this story follows his best friend Oliver, who is still deeply in grief. Oliver is totally lost, but then through some magical radio wave shenanigans, he is connected to Gabriel. So this book is basically about finding love when you think the world is over. Here's a tea I haven't reached. You Have Reached Sam, as I said earlier. So I read this book as a standalone book, and I'm telling you, it totally stands as a standalone as well. And I have binged it in a day, so it's this cute, magical, bingeable YA romance. I especially loved how the book talked about science and the universe. Like, it made physics sound romantic, and it totally convinced me to go back and read the first part, You Have Reached Sam, so mission accomplished. It's swoon-worthy and absolutely romantic. 4 stars, sweet, sad, and full of stars. The award it gets is I'm Not Crying, It's Just Science Award. Next up is The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. This book is essentially Sherlock Holmes and Watson, but what if they were dropped into a magical world full of weird plants and leviathans? We have an eccentric genius detective and her long-suffering assistant who are trying to solve this high-profile case in a very magical, in a very weird, in a very much of a fantasy world. I really thought I would love this book. The main character over here, the detective, she gave me these quirky Sherlock vibes. So I have to really ask this question: if Sherlock was indeed based in this modern world, would he swear that much? Like, this detective had a mouth on her. But the problem in this book, I felt, was the world building. Like, it was so complex, it was so convoluted. Like, I felt like I had to use a lot of my mental energy. Like, I literally had to use a lot of brain power to kind of imagine this strange magical world, that I kind of at some point stopped caring about the characters, and then I had to use my brain power to think of the mystery. Then I stopped caring about the world, and everything kind of became a bit confusing and a lot of mental exercise on my end. So it wasn't bad. I just feel like I don't have the mental energy to continue the series further. 3 stars, great vibes, but too much homework. The award it gets is I need a manual to understand this award. Next up is Divine Fast by Michael Graziano. Now, this book is just 120 pages long, but it packs so much philosophy in it that you can stay awake for an entire week thinking about this book. Now, imagine being trapped in a coffin in a very small claustrophobic space, but you're with your friends. Now, imagine this expanding infinitely. You have as much space as you want, and you're surrounded with a lot of people, but you have no real connection. And finally, you imagine yourself in a space which is infinite and you can have everything you want, but there are no people over there. So these are the 3 kind of hells, and we see our protagonist going through a journey along these lines, and now you have to think, which one would you choose? This book is claustrophobic, weird, and incredibly rewarding. It kind of makes you ask yourself a lot of questions. How do we adapt to suffering? Why do we accept the status quo? And what is the actual price of curiosity? It's kind of like a modern day Pandora's box. It packs so many profound things at such a short, page count that I don't think honestly, my small brain probably wasn't able to comprehend all of it. But I love the attempt. Also, a quick note, like the cover of this book, like looks very gory, looks very uncomfortable. But the book, I would have to tell you, it was a lot more gentle than this. This book leans on less on the more disturbing, but more on, more thoughtful vibes. 4 stars, short, sharp, and existential. The word it gets is the existential crisis in 120 pages award. Next up is The Tenant by Freida McFadden. I have read so many Freida McFadden books this year. Like at this point, I feel I kind of know the formula behind the books, but I will still tune in for the chaos. Okay, picture this. You are broke, so you decide to rent out a room in your house, and you have this tenant who just seems perfect on paper. She pays on time, she's quiet. But then suddenly your goldfish dies, your house starts smelling of rotten meat, there is blood in your carpet, and yeah, you start looking like a complete psycho. This book was predictable beyond measure. Like, did I see the plot twist coming from miles away? But did I still enjoy it? Yes, absolutely. There's something like very satisfying about, seeing this like perfectly sane character go like absolutely mad or crazy or something that drives him to that point. It's trashy, it's fast, and while I have to say the entire story, the entire plot was kind of built on some formula, the epilogue was the only twist that I didn't see coming. 3 stars, predictable but highly entertaining. The word it gets is the Roommate from Hell Award. Next up is The Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. We have arrived at the finale, and I have to say this is probably one of the best ending I have read, especially to a YA. For those who are new to this, this series basically follows set in Victorian London, and it follows Tessa, our main character, who has the power to shapeshift, and she's kind of adopted by this group of shadow hunters, the good guys, who hunt demons in their free time. In the finale, the main villain, he has built this empire of unkillable clockwork robots, just imagine like zombie-like creatures, and he wants to take all these shadow hunters out, and Tessa is the only key to stopping him. But the series also follows a love triangle where our main character Tessa is kind of torn between the two main leads, Phil, who is the brooding, tortured bad boy, and James, who is the dying, gentle soul. Usually, love triangles are kind of annoying, like you just want the girl to pick one, but over here, the two boys, they are like parabatai, they are like these blood-bound brothers, warriors, and their bromance is so real that they'll end the world just for each other. I was so confused, like how the author would write an ending without, ruining everything, without, torturing one of these people, because all of the characters are so nice. You don't want to see a sad ending for any of them, and somehow she did it. It was perfect. And shout out to Tessa for being a genuinely reliable main character who is smart instead of just being like a damsel in distress. And also the side characters, especially for this book, the Lightfoot brothers, who kind of steal the show. I have to honestly say, like, this series kept getting better and better with the books, and I'm kind of sad it's over now. 5 stars, perfection. The award it gets is, this is how you end a series award. And the last book of the month is We Love You Bunny by Mona Awad. If I could describe this book in one noise, it would be a happy, slightly unhinged scream. The second part kind of confirmed everything that I felt in the first part, that yes, we do love you, Bunny. It claims to be a sequel, a prequel, and a standalone, and honestly, only Mona Awad can pull this kind of thing off. And in this plot, it kind of flips itself over. So over here, Sam is basically tied up in the attic while the bunnies, they have tied her up, and they go around telling their point of view or their stories. Underneath the cult-like dark academia vibes, this book actually kind of feels like a meta commentary on the process of writing a novel, the struggle of creation, the writer's block, and that frustration when you get when nothing you write feels good enough. Like, this book, I feel, breaks fourth wall in a way that it's just staring right back at you. It actually snagged a signed edition of this. You need to check out my beautiful covers video if you want to know the whole story behind how I got this book. And oh my god, I'm so sad I can't read this book for the first time again. 5 stars, 6 stars, 10 stars. Pure chaotic joy, and the award it gets, needless to say, the best book of the month award. So that was November, a lot of good books, and honestly, I'm a bit scared now because I feel I have used up all my good luck in reading in this 30 days, and December is staring right back at me. Do me a favor and please leave in comments below your one book from November, which I should probably add to my TBR because yes, apparently I hate sleep. Till then, have a great time. Bye bye. Good night. Shivratri.